All right, I'm going to go straight across to India Today's consultant editor, Nikhil Nas, for the very latest on that story. Nikhil, what is the inside track of what really went on behind the scenes? Pakistan clearly succumbed here after 9 long days of the kind of tantrums that they had been throwing. We knew that they would come around. But what happened here? Talk to us about the sops that were offered to Bangladesh to finally placate Pakistan.
Well, that's right, Sneha. I mean, this is an unprecedented situation.
Yes.
We've had countries in the past that have been unwilling to play a tournament or unwilling to play a match, but we've never had a scenario where you've had hectic parlays like the ones that we've seen this time around, where, in fact, you had an ICC delegation travel to Pakistan, a country that had said they will be boycotting the India game. Now, on the face of it, and I'm only going to go by what has been put out in public domain, we've heard from the ICC, we've heard from the Pakistan Cricket Board, we've heard from the Bangladesh Cricket Board. So without getting into speculations, just sticking to what we know in public domain, what are the issues? Pakistan claims we were only standing for Bangladesh. Right now, we've not seen any sort of written communication that is contrary to that. So Pakistan says Bangladesh was the only one that we were standing up for. Bangladesh themselves say, this is exactly what we wanted. We wanted our interests to be guarded. And at the moment, Bangladesh also say, we have gotten our share of the pie, so we are happy.
ICC, Nikhil, I'm just going to ask you to be with us. In fact, Sunil Gavaskar is also now joining us at this point in time. I'd like Nikhil to take a couple of questions from him.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Gavaskar, for joining us live. I know he's having a busy time. He's covering the T20 World Cup. In fact, he was at the game that has just finished. But Sahi, thank you so much for taking our time. My first question is, before I get into the nitty-gritties of this, I remember having a conversation with you about a week ago that, what will happen to the India-Pakistan game. And as far as I can remember, you were one of those first people who said, don't worry, the match will happen. Pakistan will do a U-turn. So firstly, full marks for you to get that prediction right. I want you to tell our viewers, what is it that made you so confident?
Well, I mean, have a look at the in the past as well. I mean, when you talk about their players as well, the players have retired on a Monday, and on say Thursday or Friday, they've taken their retirement back, saying, "Oh, the love of the people, the pressure of the people has made us, think, and so therefore we have taken our retirement back." And it was exactly going to be the same thing that there was going to be some excuse made at some face saving, excuse found. And I think they're trying to find that by saying that the Sri Lankan president said to them, and the Bangladesh board also requested them for the cricketing ecosystem not to be disturbed, and therefore they are agreeing to play the game. So it really wasn't a surprise at all that this was going to happen.
So anyway, we are calling it a U-turn. I was hearing Mohsin Naqvi and the Pakistani media report that this is not a U-turn. We stood for Bangladesh. Once Bangladesh got their share of their pie, we have, of course, agreed to go ahead with the game because the point that we were raising has been addressed and we are happy with the outcome. Do you see it as a U-turn? First saying, no, we're not going to play India, come hell or high water. Now you're playing?
No. So the thing is that they say that they stood with Bangladesh because Bangladesh was not allowed to have its matches in Sri Lanka. Okay. So Bangladesh has not been allowed to have matches in Sri Lanka. So how can you say, so how can you say that you've stood with them? Bangladesh is out of the tournament. Bangladesh was never going to be, because of these special circumstances, there was never going to be a situation where ICC was going to withhold Bangladesh's appearance money or penalize them. No, I don't think that would have happened because I think it was such a last-minute situation, and it's not a question of the ICC creating a precedent also, and therefore, to say that Bangladesh, we have got them their share of the pie. You might have got them their share of the pie. Have you got them back into the tournament? You haven't. So if you really stood by Bangladesh, and if you wanted to stand by Bangladesh, you should have also opted out of the entire tournament. Why are you opting out only against India? India was not the only one that objected or did not accept the Bangladesh request. There were other 11 or 12 other countries that also said that no, the matches cannot be shifted to Sri Lanka. But you're still going to play them. You are going to play against USA. You are going to play against Namibia. You're going to play against all the countries that had voted against. So what are you talking about? This is, I mean, you can call it U-turn, whatever it is. So, but I mean, like I said, no surprise at all.
That's a very important point that Mr. Gavaskar is making, that at the end of the day, what Pakistan was crying over was that why have you removed Bangladesh, reinstate them. Bangladesh has not been reinstated, yet they have agreed to play versus India. So anyway, going back to your prediction, and you said, that's you base that prediction on the fact that we've had in the past as well. Many cricketers say one day we are retired, next day they're not going to. So you were mostly talking about their personality or how they actually go about things. But let me, look at the cricketing angle. Was one of the reasons that you were so confident that Pakistan will do a U-turn? Because at the end of the day, the financial losses that would come by the way of Pakistan, the end of the day, the sanctions might that come towards Pakistan, the isolation that they might have to go through, those were factors that were there in the back of their head, and it was just a matter of time before they would have played. So they had far more things to lose than any other stakeholders, and that's why you were confident that they'll play?
Yes, because like I said, the ICC sanctioning Bangladesh was going to be a remote possibility. But with the members participation agreement signed with the ICC by the member boards, the Pakistan Cricket Board was bound to play every single match. If they had opted out of the tournament, it would have been completely a different story. I don't know what would have happened. But you cannot select and say, I will not play this match, but I will play the other matches. And so for doing that, they certainly would have had sanctions. There would have been financial sanctions. All other sanctions, what the ICC would have done, I do not know. Whether the ICC would have then said to its member boards, do not, play bilateral tournaments, bilateral events with Pakistan, or do not allow your players to play the PSL. I don't know about that. But 100% there would have been financial sanctions against Pakistan for not playing just one match. It could have been one match against England, even if they had opted not to play against England, but play against everybody else, there would have been financial sanctions.
Okay, Simon, now I'm going to ask you about the decisions that the ICC have taken. On the face of it, it does seem like, they have done their job. Eventually, they've gotten every team to go ahead and play the encounter, and that would be their larger interest. But my question to you is, let's take a look at Bangladesh first. That no sanctions against them, as you point out, maybe that would have been the case any which way, even if negotiations didn't happen in Lahore. But what people are pointing out is towards that extra tournament that is being given to Bangladesh. Many are calling it a SOP or a freebie. How do you see that ICC throwing in an extra tournament for Bangladesh between 2028 to 31?
I think, it could well be the Champions Trophy, which is to be played maybe in 29, if I'm not mistaken, or 2030. It might be that might be given to Bangladesh. So I don't think that's an issue at all. I think Bangladesh having missed out on this T20 World Cup, there's not. I don't think it's an issue at all. So I don't think it should be anything big should be made out of it. Look, at the end of the day, the ICC is an organization which is looking to try and get everybody together, and they've managed to do that. So if in any case, if they wanted to sort of bring Bangladesh back into the fold by ensuring there are no sanctions against them, giving them an extra tournament, I don't think there is anything wrong with that. I think that is what we need to do. Look at the larger picture, and the ICC has looked at the larger picture.
I think you make a fair point there, Saima. I mean, ICC's job, it's a neutral body. Their job is to have all the stakeholders come together and honor their commitment, and that's what they've done. The only question that arises from here, now you had a situation where literally Pakistan held the entire cricketing world to ransom, right? They threatened that we'll pull out. Many will wonder, what does this do to the future of cricket? Tomorrow you will have another nation do exactly that, another nation do exactly that. Has the ICC then been a bit soft on Pakistan, just being happy that they're playing the India game, or they'll need to be seen to doing more so that there is not a wrong precedent set, so that more countries don't follow the route that Pakistan did of actually threatening the entire cricketing ecosystem?
No, you can threaten it. See, look, Nikhil, you can threaten. There is only if that threat had been carried out and not played, and then if the ICC had not taken any action against them, then that would have been, setting up a precedent. But this was, like I said, it was never going to happen that they were not going to play. So you can make a lot of noise that, I'm not going to play, I'm not going to do this, etc., etc. But eventually you're going to play, So that's okay. Let them, so all the noise that was made, that's fine. I, what I think where I think Pakistan really should have been, told that, this kind of thing will not be accepted was during the Asia Cup, when they turned up late for their game against, I don't remember who it was. UAE. And the match was delayed by a couple of hours or something. That is where the match should have been given. The match referee and the umpire should have given, at the toss time, if the Pakistan team had not turned up, that is where the match should have been given to the opponent. That is what did not happen, and that has set a bad precedent. Here, there was only a threat hanging in the air. We will not play. If it had materialized on the 15th, if Pakistan had not played, then that would have been a breach of the agreement. Then the ICC would have had to step in, and I'm pretty certain everybody would have again voted to have very severe sanctions on Pakistan. I think they were aware of that as well.
Okay, very, very valid points there made by Mr. Gavaskar. I think, you should have nipped it in the bud, as he's saying. When they threatened not to play UAE in Asia Cup, I was there. I think that is when they should have intervened. Then you could have avoided what's really happened now. But even then, you have to give credit to the ICC. Under the circumstances, they've managed things very well. So anyway, stay on with us. We're getting a quick reaction from Harbhajan Singh. Let's listen into that and we'll return to Mr. Gavaskar.
उन्होंने बहुत लेट रियलाइज़ किया है कि उनके बिना टूर्नामेंट हो सकता है, भारत के बिना टूर्नामेंट नहीं हो सकता है। और जितनी भी वो बातें पहले कर रहे थे कि हम खेलेंगे नहीं, हम इस समर्थन में हैं कि हम बांग्लादेश के साथ हैं, आप रहिए, वो आपका एक सोच है, आपका विचार है। हमने तो पहले ही कहा था कि ये यू टर्न लेंगे और ये खेलेंगे। फाइनेंशियल लॉस बहुत ज़्यादा है और जहाँ पैसे की बात आती है तो ये गिड़गिड़ाते हुए आएंगे दोबारा टूर्नामेंट में खेलने, और वो आए हैं।
Harbhajan Singh there, he's saying that, probably Pakistan realized that, this is the kind of financial losses they can't really take. But Sahibai, going forward, what would you like ICC to do? Has the time come for the ICC to call out this bogey called India-Pakistan that allowed this wriggle room to Pakistan? Maybe not have India-Pakistan in the group, just call that out, market other games which anyway get high rating, like India-Australia. India-Pakistan on the cricket field anyway is a no contest. Is it a deflection point? Should ICC treat this now going forward, because this deal was signed so that certain things are not repeated in the future? Do not put all your eggs in the same basket. Don't market India-Pakistan as the only showstopper of a tournament.
No, I think it is because of the rivalry. There is a massive interest on both sides of the border, as well as all around the world. So that I understand. Maybe from Indians and Pakistanis all over the world. But I think the draw should be what happens everywhere else, where you pull in, according to the rankings is what the draws do. And the ICC has its own rankings. And according to that, I think the rankings should be there. I think this is maybe a requirement by the broadcast holders, rights holders, that there should be at least one India-Pakistan match, and which is the reason why they are always in one group. And not only are they always in one group, you will also find that the teams in their group are also, not really like a group of death, whereby there's always there's a very, very good chance of India and Pakistan progressing to the next round. Now, I think, that is a little bit tough on the other teams as well.
Okay.
So I think hopefully from this experience, this episode, for the next world event, I think there will be a lot of rethinking done.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Mr. Gavaskar, completely out of time, but thanks so much for speaking with us and putting things into perspective. It's back to Sneha for the rest of the news.
All right, I'm going to thank you so much for that, Nikhil, getting in that perspective on why did Pakistan really come around. That conversation, of course, continues, and match that we're all looking forward to is going to be on the 15th of February when India plays Pakistan. Well, that also brings us to the end of this edition. News continues right here. Thank you.